I love nostalgia games. For some watching, that may be early 7th gen games like Minecraft 1.8 or Call of Duty Black Ops 2. For others, it may be 6th gen games like Sonic Adventure Battle 2 or Resident Evil 4. Personally, the first game I can remember playing was Kirby's Adventure on the NES, but that isn't the game that gives me the most nostalgic feels. It's a game stuck somewhere between the 6th and 7th gen. What I mean by that is, it was released for the GameCube, but I played it on the Wii. Allow me to introduce you to...
Nintendo.
Oh yeah.
This is pretty high up on my greatest games of all time list, and for good reasons. First up is the gameplay. This game was made alongside the GameCube, so the GameCube and Luigi's Mansion were both made with each other in mind. So the game plays like butter on the one and only console it was designed for. From using the flashlight to flash ghosts, to fighting bosses, to grabbing collectibles. Almost everything in the game feels really good. I say almost because of one glaring mechanic that I'll get into later. I've never had an issue with catching ghosts, and I originally played this game on a crappy red Mad Catz controller that almost killed my first Wii. The second point is sound design. From the laugh of the purple punchers to the scream of the grabbers. I never had a question on what ghost entered the room. Then there's EGAD. They really nailed the old hermit that lives in the middle of nowhere stereotype. Even with no voice acting, you can tell exactly what he's supposed to sound like. Then there's Luigi.
Hello?
To my knowledge, before this game, he didn't have any voice acting, and if he did, it wasn't a lot.
To invite us over for a picnic, eh, Luigi? I hope she made lots of spaghetti.
They perfected the scared brother that really just wants to find Mario. They really sell the idea that Mario is the hero and Luigi's the sidekick. The last stop on the good is of course the music, but this game isn't upbeat battle tracks, no. Instead, it's spooky music to help build the atmosphere. Now that doesn't mean there aren't battle tracks. As much as it pains me to say it, this game has its sore spots. The most glaring of which being the boos. I originally thought about putting them in the ugly because I thought they were an alright mechanic, but then upon replay I remembered how god-awful it was to try to catch these things. For those who don't know what a boo is, they're small white little ghosts that have appeared in Mario games starting with Super Mario Bros. 3. They have a leader known as King Boo. Sometimes he looks like this, or this, even looked like this one time, but this is what he looks like in the current game. Usually they get scared when Mario looks at him and starts moving towards him when he looks away. I guess they're not afraid of Luigi. To catch most ghosts, you have to shine your flashlight on them to reveal their heart and then suck them up. With the boos, you have to search around the room listening to this loud, annoying beeping coming from the boo radar built into the Game Boy Horror. Once you interact with the object, there's a chance for the boo not to be in it, being replaced with a boo ball or a bomb. Once you've finally found the boo, You have to scramble to the middle of the room and try to suck them up. Unlike other ghosts, you can't lock onto them and only have slight aim assist. On top of that, if you take too long catching them, they have a chance that they'll go through one of the walls in the room and go into a different room. So you end up going on a wild goose chase trying to chase this thing down through multiple rooms. Then if you go into a dark room, you will not catch them due to having increased defense in the dark. Then, if you don't catch them and they go through the floor or ceiling, you can kiss your chances of catching them goodbye because they stop following the rules listed above and go into whatever room they feel like. And to add the angry cherry on top of all this pain, towards the end of the game, they can have upwards of 500 health. So you end up trying to catch it over multiple floors in almost every room in the house.
Mario.
The only upside to this is that you only need to catch 40 of the 50 boos in the house to beat the game. If you haven't caught enough, then King Boo will just blow you back to the foyer of the mansion. They also get funny nicknames like Kung Boo and Game Boo Advanced. With all that said, I think this is the only strictly bad thing I can think of in Luigi's Mansion. First up is the collectibles. There are quite a few collectibles in the game. Some are required for beating the game, like Mario's dropped items and the elemental medals, but the collectibles I'm talking about are the money items. There are four main categories of money items: coin and dollar, stones, pearls, and diamonds. Each one is worth a certain amount of G. Coins and dollars are pretty self-explanatory. They're coins and dollars. You can find them all throughout the mansion, and they're the most plentiful of the four money types. They're worth 5,000 and 20,000 G respectively. There's also gold bars that fall under this category too and are worth 100,000 G, but they're a little more rare. Stones refer to rubies, sapphires, and emeralds. They're usually found through the many secrets throughout the mansion, which include, but are not limited to, speedy spirits, the golden mice, and the hidden room. There's 10 of each stone, and they're worth these amounts of G. Next are the pearls. The pearls are where things get a little complicated. There's three types of pearls: small, medium, and large. They can only drop from portrait ghost, mini bosses, and they start dropping as soon as you start sucking them up. Every 10 health a pearl is dropped. Small pearls are dropped until you get 50 health in one shot. After 50 health until 90, you're given medium pearls. Then if you catch a portrait ghost without letting them go, they'll drop a large pearl. So in a perfect world, each portrait ghost would be worth 4 small, 4 medium, and 1 big pearl, with a total of 76 small and medium pearls, and 19 big pearls in total. These are the respective prices for each pearl. Last but certainly not least are the diamonds. There are 3 types: gold, silver, and ruby. Before we get into all this is a bit of a spoiler territory, so you can skip to here to stay spoiler free. First up are silver diamonds. Each silver diamond is found after each one of the optional bosses in Luigi's Mansion: Mr. Lugs, Biff Atlas, Slim Bankshot. Do keep in mind that in the 3DS port, Slim is not optional. Sue P, and Jarvis, meaning that there are only 5 silver diamonds in the game. They're worth 2 million G each, and as of writing the script for this, I have no idea how many I ended up getting. The next diamonds are the gold diamonds, and there are only 2 in the game total. One is a reward for a side quest involving watering a plant in Spooky's boss arena at 3 specific points of the game, and one for capturing all the boos. As of writing this script, I assume I got the one in Spooky's arena, but I doubt I got the one involving the boos, but I very well could have forgotten about the plant. Being one of the rarest money items in the game, they're worth a pretty penny at 20 million G. Finally, there's the ruby diamond. There are also only 2 in the game, but are far more underwhelming. There's one found by watering the plants in Bulas's arena, and the other is obtained by collecting King Boo's crown. The reason I say they're the most underwhelming is because they're fake diamonds, and are only worth 1 coin each at 5,000 G. I most likely ended up getting both of them, but I may have missed the one in the courtyard. The next weird thing goes to the playtime. Now what do I mean by that? Well, this game's amazing, yes, but it's very short. Nowadays, games can be anywhere from 12 to 16 hours long. Some RPGs like Fallout or Knights of the Old Republic can be upwards of 80 to 90 hours. For Luigi's Mansion, everywhere I look says the game is only about 6 to 7 hours long, but in my personal experience, I've beaten the game in as low as 4. One time I even beat it in 1 session, mostly because I didn't have a memory card to save. Is this a bad thing? Kinda, but not really. The game has pretty okay replayability with its different ranks at the end of the game. Not to mention the new game plus in the form of hidden mansions. When I think old games, I think of the NES era. When I think newer games, I think of Lethal Company or the new Helldivers, which is gonna date this video a little bit. But when I think of childhood, I think of sitting in front of the old CRT TV we used to have in my front room and playing many other Wii games. But for my closing thoughts, if you like the 6th generation of gaming and have never played it, go back and play it. And if you have played this game before, then I don't think I need to tell you to go back and play it again.